innocent. The dust is all the darkest space. A future no my understates. I'm walking through the static place, and nothing can be safe. I'm running from the afterway, the thoughts that I want away. The sequence in a back in day, but nothing my day save. The stars are burning right and right. It's written forward wicked day. I cannot hide to make a save, but nothing my day save. I'm running through the darkness, a burning up a phase I know. I wonder where the means to be, and nothing left to go. I'm running through the noise of day. I'm breathing for a sign to gray, but dust beneath the silver braid, but nothing left to say. I'm running from the ceiling glow, a something that I never know. I feel it deep inside my chest, but nothing left to.
You woke up in my dream today, which was weird since you never asked to be there. lost in landscapes epic across your view. So the beautiful place I made for you. Watch my memories of us together play across the surface of a pond, splashing the surface when you couldn't take it anymore. The memories not as you had left them, seemed as if they had been retooled. The ripples crashed into the surface opposite like tidal waves, whisking wanton dreams away like the painful memories they really are. Strolling further along the stream, you peeled away the thick coat of paint. Fresh paint caked everything with the utmost precision. Some unseen caretaker trying to keep the place looking pretty, but losing the original look long ago. The colors were all wrong. When did pink enter this sad story? Right colors in wrong places. Greens that should be black. Someone will surely pay for that. The overall gut wrench this place brought made you see and eventually pity the error in my thought. You spent all day in this dream, picking apart all its seams, exposing the rigid rust below the surface, calloused rock below sun-bleached sand. When you finally exposed the exit, you found new pity in your heart. A part of your gut shut off due to inactivity. Till now. Thank you for the visit. Thank you for the dose of reality. Thank you for the taste of a life all but lost. Thank you for stopping by. I woke up in your dream today, which was weird because I don't ever remember you placing me there. No matter how I begged and pleaded, all you really needed was time or space. In any case, I found myself there, and found a great white room bare, a giant art exhibit hall with no pieces to share. I wandered around and lost myself for what felt like ages. Finally, I found a giant book with blank pages, placed next to this great book I didn't dare look. It was a picture frame hung low next to my face. I sat back in awe as it played out your memories. Each image ran through with cracks, grain, and burns. Each image scarred more than the one before. The glass in the frame cracked with years of disgrace. Behind the pain inflicted to the images, behind the pain of their existence, there lay the most sublime remembrance ballad ever played. A smile graced my jaw as I misplaced all that awe. My gut sank to my shoes, my heart jumped up to my gullet. Like the pain of catching a bullet, it hit me, all very quickly, and none too soon. I knew that once this hall was gloriously full of pictures of me.
All right, nerds. Everything seems to be working. Now that we are a few minutes deep, once again, the stuff that I'm playing at the moment, at least during the setup time, the first few minutes of the stream, is all. If there's lyrics, it's my lyrics, but it's all experiments that I'm running through different AI stuff. So there will eventually be actual instruments put to that. I do have some recordings and stuff that I'm working on that I will fill that space. But as it stands right now, I don't really have a whole lot of my recording equipment, so I just kind of have to work with what I got. Anyway, welcome to another nerdy news update. We are going to be there. I think we're going to be watching at least one trailer this week or this episode. I Actually, I'm pretty sure it's the Super Troopers trailer, if I'm remembering correctly. Either way, before we get into that, we got to do the things. Don't forget to subscribe, and pardon me as I burp in your ear. I apologize. I just had a little bit of a soda. Don't forget to subscribe, but also check out Dubby. W.GG is the place to go get your energy drink needs. They are a partner with the channel. They do all kinds of wonderful things. I am about to re-up my 2 regular tubs, and that is the Tiger's Blood and the S'mores. I love both of them. You should too. I like s'mores is something you've never experienced in an energy drink before. It's absolutely worth buying just once, if for no other reason than so that you can say you've experienced it, because it is so stinking good. You can use code GentlyNerdy at checkout and you get 10% off. And there's that. Plus, also, don't forget to subscribe. Is it gonna play? Oh, is it gonna play? Come on, meow. There it goes. Ha! Don't forget to subscribe. Do all of the things. Tell all your friends. Share the show with everyone you know, as they say. And yeah, I would be forever grateful. But there's one last thing that we must do before we get into the actual news, and that is to remind you that the Nerd merch store is functioning once again. I don't know what the hell happened, but it is now back up and running, so you can go get your music nerd shirt, the Phantom Nerd, as I like to call it. This is my favorite design so far. I'm working on a couple ideas for what else I can do with the Phantom, because I just kind of love it. And then it'll be thematic, and we'll go through different stuff. But as it stands right now, this is the newest and the greatest design in the store. You can go check that out. You can also go check out all of the other awesome designs that are up there. That is all of the official business that must be done. Let's get into the news. Make sure that this is accurate. Nope, that's not where it needs to be. Let's correct that real quick, shall we? We're going to start... We're going to start with this Batman thing, because it's a little bit less... Let's actually show you what the hell I'm talking about, shall we? From there to there. Also, for those of you who don't have it, see if you can see that on camera right there. The Dr. Pepper coconut cream is so tasty. All right. So, we have news to do and the things and the stuff. Let's read about Batman. So, Charles Dance has been rumored for some time. We have another rumor, or no, this is official, rather. I'm sorry. This is the official announcement that he has joined the cast of the Batman Part 2. The rumor here has to do with who he's going to be playing and who exactly Harvey Dent is going to be in the movie. So, Batman Part 2 has added another major name to the cast. As Deadline reports, Charles Dance is in talks to join Matt Reeves' DC sequel starring Robert Pattinson. If the deal closes, the Game of Thrones actor will head to Gotham for what looks like another key role tied to the Dent family. This will be the second Game of Thrones actor who will be associated with a Batman property. Because the sellsword, why can't I think of his name? The one that was protecting Khaleesi. Hey, look, let's not... the one that was protecting Khaleesi, I can't think of the character's name or the actor, but the actor who played that character, whose both names I can't remember offhand, was in the Teen Titans show, and he played Bruce. He played a really horrible version of Bruce, and that's a big part of the reason why I stopped watching the Titans, rather, not Teen Titans, but Titans, on HBO Max. But I mean, this is the second Game of Thrones actor nonetheless. All right, so continuing on. Dance is best known to genre fans for playing Tywin Lannister, so he brings the kind of gravitas that fits right into Reeves' grounded Gotham. DC Studios had no comment on the report. Charles Dance reportedly eyed as Charles Dent. While not officially confirmed, the belief is that Dance will play Charles Dent, the father of Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent. The character has previously been rumored to be part of the sequel. That would put Dance alongside Sebastian Stan, who has been linked to Harvey Dent, and Scarlett Johansson, who has been linked to Dent's wife. I still don't know what I think Johansson's going to be in this movie, but alongside Sebastian Stan as Harvey and Harvey's, I can't remember Harvey's wife's name. Either way, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I really like the idea of her being the Phantasm, and I think that would be the coolest way to do that, but that's just me. If true, it means Reeves may be building out the Dent side of Gotham in a much bigger way than expected. Harvey Dent is one of the most important figures in Batman lore, so bringing in his family suggests the sequel could be laying the groundwork for something bigger, darker, and more personal. Also fits with what has already been teased about the movie taking a different path from the first film. Casting also keeps momentum going for Batman Part 2 following recent comments from Pattinson and Colin Farrell praising the script. Pattinson recently said the script is extraordinary and called the movie very, very different, while Farrell described it as a masterwork. Could be good. Colin Farrell's not a hack when it comes to praising stuff like that, so could be legit. According to trade reports, Batman Part 2 is still expected to start production in spring of this year and remains dated for October 1st of 2027. Reeves is directing, co-writing. We already know all that. All right. So that's a fun little piece. I had to talk about the Batman because it's kind of not been a show we haven't talked about some sort of Batman news, right? Okay, so then the first of the teased in the thumbnail stories is going to be the lesser of them, I believe, is the best way to say that. We are getting a third Super Troopers movie. This one somehow has flown under my radar. Like, I don't know why I haven't seen this until we are getting a trailer. Probably because the second one was kind of not great, so I've not really been keen-eyed to pull this out of the news reports, but here we are. We have a freaking trailer. Trailer for Super Troopers 3 has been released, bringing back the Broken Lizard crew for another round of absurd comedy, highway patrol antics, and total chaos. This time the story centers around Farva's over-the-top Indian engagement to Thorny's sister, which quickly goes off the rails. Like, seriously, the second one was so not good. Like, it wasn't bad necessarily, but it was definitely not good. So I really hope they can course correct with this. Let's watch the trailer and see what happens. Is it gonna play? Is it gonna play? Absolutely not. Why would it play? Come off it. Watch on YouTube. There we go. Okay, maybe. There's a little bit of hope here. Short and wide. Okay. 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 I will admit defeat. That was good. Oh no. Oh, dear Lord. Yep, that one was kind of telegraphed from a mile away. Okay, fine. Oh, God. Why? It's gonna be better than the second one. Oh, God. I did not laugh that hard at the second one in its entirety. I just laughed that hard at the third one's trailer. Oh, yes. So Super Troopers 3 is going to be in theaters August 7th, and I think I want to go get tickets right now because that looks like it's going to be on the level with the first movie. That's awesome. Oh, I gotta stop laughing. We gotta finish this. Okay. Oh, shit. Next up, we're gonna go to this one just so I don't laugh through the Deadpool story. But here we go. We got some Marvel Studios real quick update on Comic-Con this year. They're going to be returning to Comic-Con. If you remember, they were not at Comic-Con last year. Obviously, they have Avengers Doomsday to be plugging this year. So if they weren't going to Comic-Con, they potentially would be losing money by doing that. But they're going to be in Hall H. Marvel Studios is headed back to San Diego Comic-Con this July. And will return to Hall H this summer for its usual Saturday night presentation. The info comes via The Wrap, where it's added that Marvel will also have a big presence on the convention floor in San Diego. I want to go to San Diego Comic-Con so bad. And then we're just getting into like the lineup and stuff. And we already know these things. The big question mark here is Doomsday. So Doomsday releases through Comic-Con is July 23rd through 26th. Doomsday hits in December. This December, that's right. Okay. So yeah, Doomsday is happening. We now know for sure they're going to be in full force with the promotion machine at Comic-Con. It's going to be awesome. Let's move on. We're going to move into Deadpool. So we have Ryan Reynolds talking about Deadpool amidst Avengers rumors, because he still has not been 100% confirmed, not been absolutely confirmed, or at all confirmed by the studio. But like, if they don't do it, like, yeah, they're totally missing the plot, but they're gonna do it. So Ryan Reynolds is talking Deadpool again. This time he sounds a lot more interested in keeping the Merc with the mouth in the mix rather than front and center. While appearing on Today, Reynolds was asked about what could be next for Deadpool following the massive success of Deadpool and Wolverine. Reynolds said, "I have stuff written," but added, "I don't think I'm going to center him again. I think he's a supporting character. He's a guy that's great in a group." I don't know if that's accurate. I think that might just be a little bit of Reynolds' I want to say fatigue, but I don't think that's the accurate word. That's this Ryan being a busy man in Hollywood and doing things and not wanting his entire career. While he does love being the character, I mean, he does have that famous quote of, "I walked out of my mother's vagina to play this role." Like, I think he still believes that, but also he has other projects. And if he's writing a Deadpool movie every 4 years, then that doesn't really leave a whole lot of room for other projects. So if he keeps him as a secondary or tertiary character, then that gives him room to also be an actor and a spokesperson for his, what is it, whiskey, or gin rather, and Mint Mobile, right? So I think that's more Reynolds trying to do other things and less of an accurate, like, Deadpool doesn't work as a main character, because obviously we've seen that the opposite is true. That lines up with what Reynolds has said before about Deadpool needing the right reason to come back. It also fits current rumors that he could show up in Avengers Doomsday and or Secret Wars, where a supporting role in the larger ensemble would make a lot of sense. Abso-freaking-lutely. I think that a main role in a larger ensemble would make a whole lot of sense too, because he's led teams and yeah. Anyway. Comments are noticeable, or Ryan Reynolds has already downplayed Marvel Return rumors. Comments are notable rather, because Reynolds previously tried to cool off speculation he'd already returned to Marvel, saying he hasn't stepped 1 foot on set. That's a very specific choice of words. So while Reynolds is clearly writing and thinking about Deadpool's future, his latest comments suggest fans probably shouldn't expect another solo movie, but built entirely around Wade Wilson anytime soon. I have first day with the new tongue. I'm sorry. Instead, it sounds like Reynolds sees Deadpool as better used alongside other heroes, especially in group settings where the character can bounce off bigger personalities and add chaos without carrying the whole story. There is such a cool possibility for the MCU version of Deadpool. The thing that I'm thinking of specifically is we have there's the 3 Deadpool books. You have Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool kills everybody, and Deadpool kills? Is that the... I think that's the 3 books. The Deadpool Kills books. I think that was the 3 of them. Anyway. But like just the meta of this character becoming self-aware inside of the universe that he's in, which they just did in the comics, it's been a little while. It was the Brian Posehn run, and it was so good. Like, to do that in a movie universe, and it's Disney, so they can pay for the licensing agreements to do a bunch of random, like, famous movies that Deadpool finds himself in. Like, that could be a really cool thing, and it could be hilarious, and also, I fully believe that Ryan Reynolds has the capabilities of writing that into some sort of self-reflective piece. Like, have that be the last movie that you do as Deadpool, but have it just be kicking it on all cylinders, just hammering away at being one of the funniest, one of the best action movies, and also somehow poignant and introspective. Like, that is totally possible with the character of Deadpool. So the fact that they think that he's not a leading character is so freaking ridiculous to me. Anyway, continuing on with the article. Also matches what previous reported by the Hollywood Reporter, which said Ryan Reynolds has been exploring ideas for a new Deadpool movie involving X-Men characters. That is a good idea. That would put him as the primary and the X-Men as the secondary. Anyway, Deadpool and Colossus. Deadpool and Wolverine, we already got. Deadpool and Hulk. So much of a... Anyway, according to that report, Reynolds has been working on treatment for an ensemble film featuring 3 or 4 X-Men characters, with Deadpool appearing more in a supporting role. The idea is said to be keeping Deadpool more on the sidelines, could allow X-Men to be used in more unexpected ways. We're not going to watch the clip because we literally just went over everything he said in it. So next we're going to talk real quick about Pragmata sales. I am so freaking sad that I can't play this game yet because I don't own it because, money sucks. But this looks so much... I've heard literally nothing bad about it. I think the lowest meta score for any version of this game is like the Xbox version, and it's an 87. Seriously. Anyway, if I'm remembering that correctly, I could be conflating that with a different game. This might just be on PlayStation, which might be the reason I don't remember. We'll read the article. It'll probably come out in the article, but I'm pretty sure it's on the Xbox. So, Pragmata sells 1 million copies in 2 days. Capcom is killing it the last few years, man. Capcom says Pragmata is off to a fast start as the new sci-fi action-adventure game has sold more than 1 million units worldwide in only 2 days. The company announced the milestone in a press release confirming that Pragmata reached the mark shortly after launch on April 17th, 2026. That is a strong debut for a completely new IP, especially one without the built-in fan base that comes with an established franchise. SeaWorld out there that tells freaking the same story over and over and over again. You can tell an original story with an original IP and make money and sell units and break records and all kinds of fun things. According to Capcom, Pragmata benefited from a mix of early marketing and wide platform support. Yes, that is very key in this modern gaming age. Company pointed to the release of playable demo as one of the key ways it introduced players to the game's mechanics and setting ahead of launch, which is something that is sorely needed in modern gaming. The playable demo has gone the way of the buffalo, and it's a sad day for it. Capcom also said that multi-platform strategy helped broaden the game's reach, with Pragmata releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, Nintendo Switch 2, Steam on PC. Nintendo Switch 2 version launches on the 24th, so we still have a couple of days on that one in Japan and other parts of Asia. Even with no existing brand recognition behind it, Capcom said those efforts created enough momentum to push Pragmata past 1 million copies in just 2 days. That's so cool. And then we get into what it's about. We've already covered what it's about. Near future lunar world ruled by artificial intelligence. Stories follows Hugh, William, and Diana, android girl, make their way through that dangerous setting. Capcom also described the game as a mix of action, gameplay, and puzzle elements. Yeah, the puzzle elements is a big part of why I want to play, because that looks like it's so freaking much fun. Go watch some Let's Plays for that, because it's just it's a blast. Should we do our other big piece? I'm going to hold off on the other big piece for one more story. We'll go to this Clayface story next. We got our first tease for the Clayface series. Pardon me while I whet my whistle. DC has released the first official look at Clayface, offering a magazine-style image of Tom Rice Harries as Matt Hagen ahead of the film's marketing push. The image surfaced through movie's official social media. It appears to be setting up a bigger trailer rollout following Warner Brothers' CinemaCon presentation, where the studio showed the first footage to theater owners. I wonder if there's anything else on here that really is going to clue us into what's going on here. We have, plus Sophie Powell. I recognize that name, but I couldn't tell you why. Ashes on Sunday, Blister Twister, Lucy Haley, Deliana, Future Music, Laura DeThesis on The Sounds of Tomorrow, Power Players, Indie, Darlings to Blockbuster something, and then something tech. But that's our Clayface right there, nerds. Is the name of this magazine Glued? Is that the name of this magazine? Oh, that's interesting. I really feel the only name I really recognize on here is Sophie Powell, and I can't remember why I recognize that name. If it's legitimately something from Batman lore, or if it's just my brain going, "Hey, words!" First look at Matt Hagen. Image presents Matt Hagen before his full transformation, framed like a glossy celebrity magazine cover on with the line "Most Gifted" and "Future Stars" issue, which fits the movie's setup of Hagen as an actor before everything goes wrong. Movie? I thought it was... Oh, that's right. It switched a while ago, didn't it? I'm a dumbass. That lines up with previously reported story details describing him as a Hollywood performer whose face is disfigured before he turns to a scientist for help, leading to his transformation into Clayface. Future Stars... Most... Gifted. Oh, okay, I can read it. I was seeing glue for some reason. I don't know why. Don't look at me like that. CinemaCon footage leaned fully into body horror. Matt Hagen is shown in a hospital bed with his face wrapped, his skin red and damaged, and his expression filled with pain and shock. Is that body horror, though, or is that whatever? Footage cuts between his present condition and flashes of who he was before, while his body begins changing in grotesque ways. Reports describe scenes of his lips sticking together, shadowy images of his body forming weapon-like hands. Oh, I'm super stoked for this. Terrified people screaming, and a final disturbing moment where he wipes away his own face in a bathtub. Let's sit with that one for a second. Wow, that's even just describing that image is... I think we might be getting a pretty decent Clayface situation here, nerds. Like, this is... That sounds legit right there. That is a very powerful image. Footage also made clear this is not being played as a standard superhero movie. Warner Brothers presented Clayface as a horror-driven DC film. We've heard these words before, so do not let the... Well, to be fair, they were from Marvel, so maybe it's not going to be as bad as New Mutants was. Oh, good lord. But we have definitely heard this kind of hype and marketing strategy before around superhero movies. So don't necessarily hold your breath based on that. We also heard it about the Werewolf at Midnight special presentation on Disney+, which that one wasn't bad. So we'll see. With early reactions calling it violent, unnerving, and heavily focused on physical transformation and physical torment. I really hope it doesn't play like the male version of The Substance. Like, because that was one of the rumors that was going around for a while, is it bared a striking resemblance to the Substance movie. So I really hope that the reshoots and the redo on the script leaned it away from that as much as they could while still having very similar thematic elements. Clayface, directed by James Watkins, stars Tom Rice-Harries, Naomi Ackie, Max Minghella, Eddie Marsan, and David Densick. Sorry. Film opens in theaters October 23rd of this year, so we should be getting a trailer very soon. All right, then. I'm down. I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's do the Sydney Sweeney one because we kind of have to get that out of the way at this point. And then we have a quickie, and then we have some stuff for catch-up. So Sydney Sweeney's doing a Gundam movie. I feel like we've talked about this, but I didn't remember it, and so now I'm just sitting here going, eat your heart out, Megan Fox. Who needs your silly Transformers when there's Gundam to be had? Not that I necessarily like one over the other. I'm a pretty big fan of both. But still, Sydney Sweeney over Megan Fox any day, baby. Netflix and Legendary's live-action Gundam movie has officially started production, and cast keeps growing. New additions to the ensemble, which include Jackson White, Nonso Anozi, Javon Walton, Alexander Rudinsky. I think I made that one. Ida Brooke and Jason Isaac. Oh, cool. Jason Isaacs. He's a good guy. Good actor, anyway. Character details are being kept under wraps to join previously announced cast members Sydney Sweeney and Noah Centineo. Definitely not going to work here anymore. Who lead the movie. The ensemble also includes Shioli Katsuna, Michael Mando, and Gemma Chua-Tran. Live-action Gundam movie follows rival mech pilots on opposite sides of a decades-long war between Earth and its former space colonies. As loyalties begin to shift and bigger threat emerges, that's the anime, right? That's the story from the anime. Bigger threat emerges. The two are pulled into a race across the stars. Could decide the fate of humanity. That setup gives the movie more personal angle while keeping the larger war the center of the story. I feel like that's honoring the source material pretty damn well, man. Jim Mackey directs for Netflix and Legendary. Jim Mickle. Definitely not going to work here anymore. Is directing the movie from his own script. He's also producing alongside Linda Moran through their Nightshade banner. Other producers include Cale Boiter, Ali Mendez, Sydney Sweeney herself, Noah Centineo, and Enzo Mark. Good lord. EPs are Matthew Jenkins, Makota Asuana Nehori. I think those are the guys who own the rights to the property. Movie's being produced by Legendary Pictures in partnership with Bandai Namco Filmworks. Deadline first reported casting and plot news. That sounds like they're definitely on track to do a very kick-ass movie. There's really nothing else to interject into that. That just sounds dope as shit. All right. Our last piece from Cosmic Book this week is Endgame re-release is going to be adding footage. So we talked about the re-release when we were talking about how Hollywood's out of ideas and how everything over the next couple years is going to be nostalgia bait, re-release a movie. Nostalgia bait, re-release a movie. Because we got Ninja Turtles, the first movie last year. We got The Secret of the Ooze just happened this year. Sadly, I was unable to attend the theatrical re-release of the Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze. That was, as a kid, that was the one that I liked the most. As an adult, it's flipped back to the first one, but still. And then we have the Star Wars re-releasing the original theatrical versions next year, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then we have the Avengers Endgame getting re-released. We have Lord of the Rings getting re-released a freaking again. So like we have all of these re-releases. And the big question was like, why? Do you really think you're going to make that much more money? Which I guess, if you really think about it, the fact that they have already released these movies, the re-release in a digital format, because modern movies don't come out on film. I mean, some of them do. I shouldn't say none of them, but like modern Marvel movies do not get a film presentation. They get shipped on discs. But so being released like that, like there's a very low overhead. So if they sell any tickets, that's making money. But it still feels very shallow, and it still feels very cash grabby, especially if there's no difference. Like the Ninja Turtles thing was a 4K restoration. They got those documentaries that they were plug in so that you can get some never before seen behind the scenes stuff. We have the restoration of Star Wars, the original theatrical cut. Hopefully it is actually what they're billing it as and not the current state of whatever the hell Lucas did before he sold it to Disney. Lord of the Rings, I think I don't remember what the significance of Lord of the Rings was. Like, obviously it's an anniversary, but like, I don't think there was anything they were doing to it. But the big question for me was, why the hell are you doing Avengers Endgame? To bring it back to the article, like, what is the point there? This movie is not so old so as to be crazy nostalgia bait. Like, I would say even borderline on that for Lord of the Rings, but at least there was a significant reason for Lord of the Rings, because it's an anniversary. Again, I don't remember exactly the details, but I'm pretty sure it was an anniversary for Lord of the Rings. It's not even really an anniversary for Endgame. It's just, remember how you like this movie? Well, we're going to show it to you again so that you maybe hopefully come see our next movie, which is kind of sort of the sequel to this movie, unless you watched all of the other sequels to this movie that have come out over the course of the last 8 years. So like, it's really, really transparent. And there was no, at least before this, there was no addition to that release to entice people to want to actually go see it. So now we are getting that there's going to be Doomsday footage attached to it somehow. How that is, maybe we'll find out in the article. Let's read. Marvel's Avengers Endgame re-release is getting more than a return to theaters. Joe Russo has now confirmed on September 25th, that the September 25th re-release will include added footage tied directly to Avengers Doomsday, turning the movie into what he described as a bridge between the two films, because he knows that nobody went and saw all of the other garbage that has come out since. Speaking at the Sands Film Festival in St. Andrews, Scotland, Russo said the re-release is, quote, critically important, unquote, because Marvel has added footage, quote, set in the Doomsday story, unquote, to Endgame. He also called it a critical companion story and a setup for what fans will see in December when Avengers Doomsday hits theaters. Via Deadline, Russo explained that the idea is to create direct bridge from Endgame to Doomsday in a way Marvel normally would not get the chance to do. He said the success of Endgame made the re-release possible, and that Marvel is using the opportunity to continue the story of the characters the Russos worked with for years. It's critically important to us to re-release the movie, and in fact, we'll be re-releasing the film with footage that is set in the Doomsday story that we have added to Avengers Endgame, said Joe Russo. He continued, quote, it's an opportunity to create a bridge from Endgame to Doomsday in a very unique way. And because the movie was so successful, we have an opportunity to... This is just repeating what we already read. Joe Russo explains, Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom return. Russo, are we going to get something here? Probably not. Russo also offered more insight into how Robert Downey Jr. ended up returning to Marvel as Dr. Doom. He said the idea came out of long conversations between Marvel, Kevin Feige, and Downey, and that Downey began thinking about coming back around 2.5 years ago. Russo said Downey pitched the idea of playing the ultimate villain after having already played the ultimate hero and called it a clever concept. Still nothing as to exactly the story, what is leading that, but okay. He added the story structure did not fully come together until he and his brother Anthony reconnected with their longtime Marvel writer, Stephen McFeely. I wonder if McFeely's done anything significant that would clue us into where they're going with this. Russo also said the upcoming Avengers movie will unfold in a structure similar to the comics and serialized storytelling as the goal. He said part of the mission is making movies that bring people together and create a sense of community in theaters, which is sorely missing because you guys keep giving us garbage movies that nobody wants to watch. Lines up with what Marvel is doing around the re-release. CinemaCon already confirmed Endgame will return in September ahead of Doomsday, September 18th, 2026 release, showing off new footage, and Disney is tying both movies to its new Infinity Vision premium screen certification. Endgame returns September 25th. Doomsday is released December 18th. That's still cool. All right. So that is what we got from Cosmic Book. There are just a couple of things. What time is it? It is 20 after. We are going to have to just do something from Engadget because this stuff has been sitting for a minute. This is all tech stuff. Where are we going? Mentor. Here we go. Let's do a follow-up on the Roblox situation because, good lord. Roblox introduces mandatory age-gated account tiers. Roblox is preparing to roll out its biggest change since starting the age verification late last year, which is really not that long of a time frame to be touting this big change, right? While that program was initially focused on chat access, today's news is about age segregating the games on the massive platform. Starting in mid-May, users will be pushed into one of three worlds: Roblox Kids, Roblox Select, or Roblox. Exact age ranges of these groups will vary by territory, but in the US they are 5 to 8 for kids, 9 to 15 for Select, and 16 plus for regular account. These three account types then align with the platform's current content maturity labels, which divide games into minimal, mild, moderate, and restricted. Kids' accounts will be the most restricted, with chat off by default and only minimal and mild experiences available. Ages 9 to 15 get to chat with kids in their age group and trusted friends that have passed the parent test and will be able to moderate content as well as... All right, so that's all well and good, but how the hell are we going to ensure that they're actually that these people are actually this age? Like, it's such a... Oh, hi, Chris. Oh, and Daniellis. Hi. Sorry, I was absolutely not paying attention. But yeah, the question remains, how the hell do you verify that that the people engaging in these age groups are actually people in these age groups without it becoming a security risk or like an age gate scandal? Because that's a really easy trap to fall into, because the government just does not know how to do stuff like this. So it's nice in theory, but there's still no guarantee here that anyone is who they say they are. That is an inherent issue with the internet. It's an inherent perk of the internet to a certain degree as well, because like there's security in anonymity, but there's security and anonymity for everyone. So even people with malicious intent still get that same security. So it's difficult to celebrate this too much. Like, in theory, I see where they're going, but Roblox says half of its users are now age checked, whether through ID verification or face scans, which those face scans are crazy easy to beat. The new account types rolled out globally, which the company says should be done by June. Start forcing users who haven't completed an age check into kids-like experience. So if you don't complete the age check, it'll throw you into that lowest tier in which the chat is automatically turned off. So I guess that kind of makes sense, but still, it's just so easy to fake all of this. And the rest of this article is kind of nonsense. We got to the meat of the thing. But we are sitting at 11:20. I have to be to work in approximately 30 minutes. And I still have to stop and get caffeine on the way. So that means we have to stop the stream, nerds. I am so sorry. let's go back here so we can talk about the things. Thank you very much for joining. I'm so sorry I did not pay attention to chat. I was just trying to burn through these articles so that we don't have them piling up like they have been. I appreciate your faces, nerds. We are slowly still growing, even though I am definitely not I don't have the ability to right now put the same amount of time and care into these videos. The videos are still coming. The news is still happening. We are still talking about it, and that's the important part, is the conversation. So if you want to engage with the conversation with the rest of us, if you just like the community that I'm trying to build here, then please, by all means, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. Share the show with everyone you know. Tell everyone you love, everyone you hate, all of the things, and we will continue to grow this community. I'm very appreciative that this has maintained a steady, some sort of consistency with this community that we are building here. So thank you very much, nerds. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to also check out the merch store so you can get your Phantom Nerd shirt. I freaking love this design. Again, as soon as I find mine, because it's in a box somewhere, I will be wearing it probably every stream, because I really legitimately love that design. Also, Dubby is the channel sponsor, partner, whatever. Code Generally Nerdy at checkout will get you 10% off of your entire cart. Legitimately some of the best energy drink I have ever had. I'm not a big fan of the powdered drinks, but Dubby kind of transcends that. Like, it's, I don't know, man. It's hard to put into words outside of the fact that they're legitimately delicious, and I severely appreciate the difference that they are, because they don't have the maltodextrin, they don't have crazy amounts of sugar, they don't have any sugar, they're sugar free, and it's awesome. And their nootropic blend legitimately helps me focus when I'm doing things that are not just allowing me to be as random and sporadic as I tend to be with the ADHD and whatnot. So go check out w.gg. Get yourself a starter kit even. You can get 10% off a starter kit. Those starter kits are dope. You get like 3 or 5 different flavors, a shaker bottle. I think some of those starter kits come with like other merch, like a shirt and a hat and what have you. So it's worth it, man. It's totally worth it. But go check them out, w.gg. Again, code Generally Nerdy at checkout gets you 10% off, gets me a little bit of a kickback, and also sells some product for Dubby, so it's a win-win-win all over the place. I appreciate your faces, nerds. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.